Take no for vitamins. That is the title of the newsletter today from the Weekly Intel. This is brief number 25. Subtitle, You Cannot Fall from the Floor. And I got this title from John Hope. So credit to him. That's where I first heard it. And I was like, I love that. So you're looking at the newsletter that came out on July 3rd. I'm reading it now. And again, the journey of me reading my newsletter. Asher is working his way out, getting better at reading out loud. I'm a novice at this. I'm an amateur. I'm a rookie. And I want to be, at least by the end of the year, an advanced rookie. But you get to listen to me go through some of the stuff I'm working on and writing about. And it's basically just getting better at writing, especially using AI, because I use a lot of that in my book writing journey with my clients. So here I am, still practicing, right? Figuring out what works best. But this newsletter, Room 1, and the newsletter that I share every week, if you go to m2mweeklyintel.com, you'll find the stuff that I put out, and I just kind of share tools and different things, different podcasts I'm listening to, the one that I've recorded for myself with my clients and some of my guests. So it's all here. But this is my hub for putting out open information. So here's the title for Room 1. The first no came from you. There is a sentence you have heard, or one you are afraid you will hear, the moment you tell someone you are writing your story. Who would want to read that? Or who would want to read about that? Sometimes it comes from across the table. Someone tilts their head, tries to be kind, and asks it out loud. But the version that does the real damage is the one that comes from inside. Someone says, you should write your story, and before they finish, you have already answered for them. Who would care about my story? Who would read that? That is the first no, and you handed it to yourself. Sit with where that sentence puts you. On one end, you let it land as a verdict, and the book closes before it opens. On the other end, you let it land as a question with an answer you have not built yet. Same sentence, two different floors to stand on. The one you pick decide whether the story lives. Most people pick the verdict. They hear one no and treat it as the final count. John Hope Bryan heard no for a living. At 18, he was sleeping in a black Montero Jeep outside the Los Angeles airport. The truck, one step from being repossessed, $500 a month coming in. He described covering the license plate from the inside so the tow truck could not read them while he slept. He cleaned up in an office restroom before the workday started, and he made a decision about the word no that changed the match of his life. He decided to take no for vitamins. A vitamin does not taste like candy. It is not supposed to. It goes down rough and builds something in you that shows up later. That is what a no is for a memoir writer. Not a wall. It's the fuel, because there is a number, a real one, of no's sitting between you and the yes that puts your story in someone else's hand. Every no you collect is one you crossed off. You are not further from the yes, you are closer because you use up one no. You use one up. You think you have to become Jensen Huang first, build the most valuable company in the world, stand on the stage, earn the right to be heard, and then you can write the book. It's backwards. Huang says his parents landed here with 2 suitcases and nothing to fall back on. The story came from the floor, not the summit. So does yours. You cannot fall from the floor. Use up your no's so you can get to your yes. How many no's have you used up today? And in here I had a podcast conversation with Jensen Huang, so that's the reason why he's part of the storytelling. So in room 2, these are 2 tools that I have on here that I keep sharing, and call it part of my recipe 13 suite. It's recipe 13 compass. You can use that. create a better prompt inside of Claude if you use Claude or if you use ChatGPT, and it's kind of help you build out, like really look into an idea. So you can descend into it, you can ascend into it, you can go back into the past, you can go into the future. You just gotta really lay down a really good thesis, and once your thesis is really good and strong, then you get to work with this tool. Same thing, I use Claude, so shout out to Claude Anthropic, best AI system that I feel like it does a really good job. And then we got room 3 here for serious writing. I also put more details in here so you can read this for yourself, but you can go into room 3 and get more deeper in the story. If you want to go to Life Changing Wisdom Marketplace, you can get on there as well, because the links are in here. And this is the episode, the one that I really love with Jensen Huang and Condoleezza Rice. It was a really good podcast episode to listen to. So if you're into that stuff, good. This is one of the podcasts I listened to that I also thought was very good with John Hope Bryant and Chris Gardner. They was getting recognized from the Forbes panel. I thought that was a really good, interesting one. The book of the week right now is Gap in the Game by Dan Sullivan, one of my favorite books. The other one is An Enemy Called Average. You can check that out. You can click through it here, test it out. But go check out the newsletter, some products from my store that I'm pushing on here. Product number 1, unisex organic hoodie, boom, with Memoirs to Millions brand. We're pushing the brand out there right now, so you can test these products out. You can buy these this season or next season or wherever. We're going to build a marketplace out. And right now, I am looking for individuals who wants to write their memoir and are looking for a place to do it, a community to do it with. And then the marketplace is going to be the place where you'll launch your book. And here's the thing. If you're going to put your story out, you're going to build a movement, then at least know who are the people that are interested in your product, your book, and who buys your book. So you can build a community around them. That's one of the reasons why we're building Life Changing Wisdom Marketplace, to go after that, to go after that market, to kind of serve the people who want to build a community around their product. So check out the newsletter. I try to push these out every week. And also something in here that I offer, if you go to ashalbertwright.com, you can find my best the best 100 books from my 1,000 book challenge. I have them on there. You can check them out, and I have them built out. I have them kind of like numbered, but it's a good place to start working on your reading skills or your education through self-growth, self-development. And it's a place to get some of these books that I've been working through that have changed my life from me being on this 1,000 book journey. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this week is the Take No for Vitamins, brief number 25. And with that, make it an utterly, utterly fantastic day.